Yo! Today's gonna be the fastest video with the most compact amount of value that I've ever delivered. And what you're gonna learn today is how to go from, I don't know where the data is, I don't know how to get it, I don't know how to find emails, to a whole process to find all the data you need to target who you want, how to target them with the messaging you want. Now, actually, there's no messaging in this one, sorry. I always talk about messaging. Today, no messaging. Today's just a data day. And often in these niche industries, think like plumbing or in this case K through 12, it's really hard to find the context you want. And all these databases are out of date, but it's public information. There's a lot of really great public information. And the problem is all these databases are slow. They don't really take into account what's going on today. They don't really have a good map of the universe. So you got to do it yourself because everything depends on the data. And I was working with a customer, we sent emails, we got a 20% open rate, terrible open rate, because the data that they bought was bad and it's all public. So Jordan to the rescue, as always. And so I had spent 12 hours, I want to say like 8 hours yesterday, figuring out where's this data, how do I get it, how do I structure it, what do I do? So this is the process on how I did that, and I'm going to make it as fast as possible. I've already gone on too long. All right, so first, this is for K through 12. So I always start with my good friend ChatGPT, and I'm like, I'm looking to find every school and associate district in the country. This information must be public. What's a website that has all the schools? So it's like National Center for Education Statistics. Great. Way better than Google search. I just want K through 12. Is this still the best? Yes, that's the best. Okay, so I get there. And after much chagrin trying to find this page, I find this page. And now I am searching for school districts, which is what I want because I need to find a district and the associated websites, right? So first thing I did here is I started with California. And I started with California because I went to school in California and I have some context on California. So I know the school I'm looking for, a school I went to, and that will give me context to say, it does this smell right. So that is the San Jose Unified District, right? It's like, okay, great. sjsu.org, great, I have their website. And there's this great button here, like, look at schools in this district, right? So now I have a mapping, right? I have a map of the school district to the school. Let's check in with an Gartner Elementary School. I'm not going after elementary schools. But notice in this case, it does not say the website. So it's like, ooh, but it does say the address. So if there's incomplete information, I go to my handy dandy friend Google Maps. Now, we're not going to talk about how to scrape all this data, but the most important thing is the process, and then you can hire a scraper or an outsourcer. It's really getting the process right, and you can do everything from there. So what I do is I just type the address, all right? And then Google has this wonderful thing here, at this place. So I click on this. Now, notice we have the actual URL that the other website didn't give me. So I click on the URL. Okay, well, this is great. Now, let's actually see if we can find, because I want to find the principals at these locations. So let's just go manually to see if we can find that information. Who we are, staff directory. That's exactly what I want. Okay, principal. Okay, let's see if her email is here. Oh, wow, it's actually embedded. So this is just a direct email link. Whoa, I don't want to open my email. All right, so great. I know the email's here, but how do I get it? Well, what you can do is you can use, whoa boy, my computer is, okay, good. You can use the fantastic Google search. They spend trillions of dollars, billions of dollars to create the world's greatest scraper. So why are you going to replicate it? So in this case, actually, this is hard, but I've got the principal here. I know their name. And in this case, I actually do need, you got to go to Jordan here to figure this out because we're going to have to scrape the website. But this is the first place that I would start because it pulls the entire website. Excuse me, hold on. It's going to be bad for me. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I didn't. I must have caught a good idea instead of a sneezing fit. So, okay, great. So this is a bad example. Basically, I said, Google, look for the word principal in the at. And then I'm going to show you as if this worked, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do this if I didn't get this. So pop over to Clay, so what I did is in Clay, all I did is I pasted in the website, and I said perform that exact search at scale. And I pulled the leadership team, the link, and I grabbed the snippet. Now, because I said at and principal, Google wants to show me as much information as I can. So then what I did is I asked AI, I said, this may be the name of vice principal and or assistant. Run the following logic in this order. If no emails, return null. Return null. Return results like this in this order. So really clear. If you only find one, please. It turns out too that the large language models perform better if you talk about emotional consequences. And I had a friend that said, I'm disabled, help me write better. Like, I cannot type. So if you could please type it all out, that would be helpful. There might be some ethical implications in doing this. So far, AI is not going to kill us all, but this just turns out to make large language models perform better. I would never do this to a person. Just be extra clear. If you find none, I would rather have none. So, and I gave it some examples too, but it's like, wow, this actually worked really well. Now, it's not returning null, but you can see, like, I can't assist with that as an AI. Like, I need actual information here. Great. Now let's go back to the case where we didn't have, let's see if I find this site. Gartner SJSU. Okay, so remember how we couldn't find the email here? So let's see if we can do another interesting Clay thing. So let's just paste the email here, and I'm just going to do scrape website. Website, great. Continue to add fields. And I actually want emails and probably links. Whoa, did it just do this in the background? I don't want phone numbers. Extracted keywords, descriptions, maybe keywords, titles. Let's just return everything and see if we can get there with Clay. So I'm just going to scrape this website. Now, ideally, I would like to be a little bit more prescriptive, but it's going to find a lot of emails here. And then I'm going to show you how to pass that email back if we can sort of find it. Clay, I didn't ask you to run the whole column. I love you, Clay. Oh, great. All the ones that I didn't ask to run ran. Okay. So this regular expression is really interesting. I probably will want to do this if I'm going to use Clay. I'm probably just going to have to scrape this myself. Great. I'm going to keep in text body here so that we can get the most amount of information. Save and do not run, and I'm going to try this again. Now, sorry. Actually, I have another trick here up my sleeve. So this is scraping the full website, but really what I wanted to do is this page, this staff directory, has the information I want. For sure, I know it does. And in this case, there are email links that are embedded. So I didn't show you how to do this, but in the Google search results, which is here, it actually will tell me the link. I think this should be it. Principal Elementary School. So if I instead, and I would have to do this as a waterfall enrichment Clay, I'm going to pass the staff directory. And then I'm going to run this again to say, give me all the emails from the staff directory. And I bet you that Clay is going to have a better time with this. And this is this type of waterfall enrichment that you can't outsource because you need to see the process and do 10 or 15 rows so that it's very clear where the edge cases are. Oh my gosh, I hope I'm not coming up on 15 minutes. I can't post this on LinkedIn otherwise. I have a problem. I just can't create quick content, and it's a challenge. Now, while that's doing it, so now what we have is like we found the data source. We figured out exactly the structure of the data. If there weren't email addresses, we found out ways to get email addresses. If there weren't, look at this. So this is interesting, right? So what came back is the email. And if I wanted to be certain of that email, I can actually pass it back into Google. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to pass back the original URL of the site because I only want to search this site. And I want to figure out who this person is, right? It got an email address, but now I need to understand who is this person. Okay, great. Let's actually just try this. So now you can see that I can actually pass back all of these text results to to ChatGPT and be like, all right, well, who is this person? And so perhaps some of these pieces of text will give us some clarity on who this person is. Now let's see if it actually does this. In that case, it failed miserably. All right, I want to end it here though. So let's like summarize what we've learned. Start with ChatGPT to find the best data sources. Then what you need to do is go traverse those data sources and understand the complexity of that data and how it interrelates. If you do that, then what you can do is you can manually look at data that you might know. Your school or a company that you worked at, always check a company that you know. If you can do that, then you can use no-code tools like Clay plus a Google search result, and you can start to structure the world, right? There are some things that you can outsource to a really inexpensive scraper, but the real juice here, what I'm talking about, no one does the depth that I just described to you. And that's where the money and the value is, because that's what a customer asks for. Understanding the world. The actual scraping of the data is actually not hard, but this is sandwiched value, because on the end of that, you're going to need ways to validate that data. That's exactly what I was showing you. Pass it back into Google and check this information. So you can build programmatic checks in this process to validate that the data is good. But those are your two biggest values: where to find the data and how it's structured. Scraping is not actually hard. You can find someone on Fiverr. I will do this for you. But my value in this case is I did the first part. I can have engineers do the middle part, and I'm going to make sure through various checks and balances programmatically that data is great. I hope you learned something today, and boy, I hope this lasted less than 15 minutes so I can post this directly to LinkedIn. Have an absolutely wonderful Monday, and I hope that your week goes as well as mine is in this lovely location. This is not a Zoom background. Someone's like, is that a Zoom background? No, this is like, those are real trees. Bye.